Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. So I was on Reddit, and somebody asked the question, do guys take hints when you like them? Alright, well, before I read the whole board, all the answers, I already had an inkling of what people were going to say. I'm just going to cut to the chase. They don't take hints. All right, men, they don't take hints when you like them. They don't take hints when you don't like them. All right. Here's the thing: communication styles between men and women are completely different. Men don't pick up on hints from women that you like them or don't like them. Okay, so I know there's a lot of frustration on both sides of the board where you're like, why isn't this guy getting the hint that I like him? I keep trying to flirt with him. I keep trying to drop little hints. I want him to ask me out and all this other stuff. Or there's these other times where you don't like this guy. He keeps trying to ask you out. You keep trying to block him. You keep trying to friend zone him and all this other stuff. And he just won't take the hint that you don't like him. Okay. Men do not pick up on subtleties that women drop, little hints, little clues, even the body language, all this other stuff. Men just don't pick up on it. Okay. Now, women pick up on subtleties that are expressed by other women. All right. We pick up on all these little things. We sit around. We analyze it like, so-and-so is such a bee. She looked at me like this. She said this. She did that. She's so catty. She's so mean. Women have all these social hierarchies where we drop all these subtle clues and do all this stuff, and we pick up on it when we do these little snotty things to each other, or when we drop all these like little subtle clues to each other, and we have these like little social structures that we have between all of us women. Okay, and we all read each other, and the women who don't pick up on the little social subtleties and stuff like that are kind of at the bottom rung. All right, those are the women that are getting made fun of by the other women. Okay, those are the women that maybe they're kind of tomboys or something like that, and they're getting made fun of by the women who are doling out this little subtle snubs and subtle clues and hints, and the women that are not picking up on it are kind of outcasted. Okay, so men not picking up on it, women expect, and I'm not saying all women, but we're hoping that men think like we do. They don't. Men wish that women thought more like they did. Okay, we don't. We are discouraged from coming out and being completely direct. Why? Because we think you're going to be violent with us if we are direct. So we try to communicate with you subtly like we do with each other. Right? I would personally love to come out and be completely direct with men because I think that's the only way they understand things. I try to do it as politely as I possibly can. I try to be as direct with men as I possibly can because I don't think they pick up on little subtle things. unless they grew up with, in a house full of women and they have a whole bunch of sisters, and they're a little more sensitive than the average man. Because some guys are just cool. Some guys grew up around a lot of women. Some guys are just more sensitive and they get it. Okay? But a lot of guys, you really have to just come out and just lay it on them and say stuff in a direct way. But you can't say it in too direct of a way, or else they're going to get mad. So it's like this delicate balance. But I read the answer board on this question. Unanimous. The guys are all saying, we don't get what you're trying to get across to us. We don't get any of your subtle hints. We don't get any of your subtle clues, ladies, like at all. Okay? If you're trying to hint that you like us, we don't get it. We don't get any of your hints. We might like you back. We still don't get your hints. I think unless the man is taking the initiative, decides that it's his idea to go after you, and he may like you and decide not to go after you. But if he's deciding to go after you, he's taking the initiative, he has the courage to go after you, he has the impetus to go after you. Unless he's doing that of his own volition, no amount of hinting and dropping little clues and hoping, wishing, and praying that he's going to do something about it, he's not going to. Unless it's his idea. I know this is not good news. This is not good news at all. He's not going to take any subtle clues. And unless it's his idea, you could try to ask him out. And a lot of people will say, oh, my wife asked me out and we've been married for such and such years and we're happy and blah, 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 blah. Okay. I think those couples are outliers. I don't think that's typically something that works out very well. You might hear the occasional person saying that the wife asked the husband out and they've been happy for years or whatever. I personally don't think that's a good idea. That's just me. I think things work out better in relationships when the man takes the lead, he asks the woman out, and she didn't have to drop a bunch of hints, clues, and stuff like that. He wanted to ask her out really bad. He pursued her. He asked her out. She liked him back enough to go out with him. He didn't have to act like a psycho and keep pestering her and asking her out. It wasn't like that. He didn't have to keep insisting that she go out with him. She liked him enough to say yes the first time. It's not like back in your grandparents' day when you keep saying no to a guy and he keeps persisting to ask you out. Don't be like one of those guys that keeps asking somebody out after they say no. Let it go. Okay, or else you're kind of a stalker. You can't, keep asking somebody out after they say no. Because nowadays when somebody says no, they really mean it. If you keep asking somebody out after they say no, you're being kind of a predator. I mean, you're doing something wrong. So let it go once they say no. You can usually tell when somebody likes you. All right, you go up and talk to them. They're engaging in conversation with you. They like your company. They want to be around you, okay? They're not trying to get away from you. All right, that is a huge clue right there. Okay, and you say to them, so and so, I really like you, and she goes, I really like you too. Okay, that's not a hint or a clue. That is somebody telling you they like you back. That's when you ask them out. Okay, again, you shouldn't have to drop a bunch of clues that you like somebody. A guy finds a girl he likes, he asks her out, okay? You know, he probably sees her every day. He finds himself attracted to her, okay? There's something about her that he likes, something about her that he thinks is special for whatever reason, okay? She stands out among other girls. There's something about her that makes her special, more special than other girls, and he decides he wants to ask her out. Okay? You shouldn't have to drop a bunch of hints and clues and let some guy know that you like him. That's just my opinion. Because if he's ignoring all your hints and clues, he doesn't like you that much in the first place. He should like you so much that he's thinking of ways to convince you to go out with him. He's thinking of something that you might like to do. Go to the movies, go to a play, go to a concert, go to some restaurant. He's noticing things about you and thinking of ways to ask you out. So, again, you shouldn't have to drop a bunch of hints. If a guy finds you attractive, all you really have to do is make eye contact. That's all you really have to do. You have to just make eye contact with him for about 5 seconds. I swear that's all it takes. 5 seconds is actually a long time. Anything longer than that is staring, and staring is not feminine. So, if you're a woman and you're staring, it usually means you have a problem or you're not really a woman. And I'll leave that up to you to interpret what I meant by that. So 5 seconds is the longest you should make eye contact with a man. And he should get the picture. Okay? So, no dropping hints. If he's not picking up on the attraction, if there's no chemistry, if there's no spark, he's just not attracted enough to you. He does not have the courage to pursue something more with you. And maybe, and I really hate to say this, he does not have enough to offer you at this time. Okay, maybe he doesn't have anything to give you. He doesn't have enough time for you. He doesn't have enough to finance a relationship with you. He feels like he doesn't have anything to say to you. Okay, he has nowhere to take you. He's tongue-tied. Okay, maybe he's like, okay, if I get into a relationship, what do I do? He doesn't know what to do in a relationship. He's just like, I just think she's really pretty, but I wouldn't know what to do in a relationship. He doesn't know how to have a relationship. He doesn't know how to be with somebody. So he may not be able to be emotionally present in a relationship. And some people find you attractive, but they don't necessarily want to be with you. You have to take that into consideration. Okay? Or they know you can do better, so they want to just let you do better. Now that sounds like sad, but some people are that's just the way they think. So I hope this made sense. I hope this helps somebody. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And I will see you in the next content. Bye-bye.